All right, so you have wavy hair, maybe curly hair, and you're just tired of seeing it frizz out and be wavy, and you want to make it straight. And there's a few different options on how to make your hair straight. Well, one, which I'm not going to really focus on too much today, but it's going into the chemical route. It's a chemical process, like you've probably heard of it, like a keratin treatment or a relaxer or a straightener. It's a chemical process that actually changes the structure and the kind of the straightness of your hair. It actually makes it go from wavy or curly to straight, helps defrizz. So it's changing the structure of the hair. If you want to do this in a way that's a little more safe for your hair, if you do it the right way and use the right tools, which I'll show you how to do, then you could go about the method we're doing today, which is using the good old brush, good old blow dryer, and a little technique. All right, so say for example, your hair is, like this. And to some people, they want their hair curly, and I have lots of videos on how to make your hair wavy or curly. Just search that up on YouTube and add the Salon Guy to it. But also what you can do is you can straighten it. So you can do it from either dry hair if you want. There's a chance if you do it from dry hair, you may see some smoke coming out from your hair. Not to worry, it could be just from the moisture or product. But I'm gonna demonstrate this with the hair a bit damp. So let's just say you get out of the shower, right, and your hair is a little bit damp. So I'm just gonna spray this one section down just like this, all right? And what you don't wanna do is you don't need to have it soaking wet, right? It's not dripping like this mannequin here, but it's gotta be fairly damp, all right? So what you can do then is apply a product like a smoothing serum, which I used to have and I'm working on releasing a new one. I'm just doing some testing and stuff. But make sure the hair is at least damp like this, and you can always towel dry it. Just make sure it's not soaking wet. So now we have a nice clean section. If you want to, you can use hair clips. I do sell these on my website just to get this hair out of the way. If you are looking for more of a kind of more focused area that you want to blow dry the hair with, so you can get this out of the way and be a little more targeted towards one specific area. Next, the product. So I'm going to use 25 spray, and this is the reformulated 25 spray, 2-3 spritzes. Now you see, I'm getting some people leaving comments saying, oh, it's shooting out like a laser stream. First of all, this is a thicker product, so it's not just pure liquid. And yes, if you spray it in your hands, it's going to look like this. It's basically going to look like a foam like this. Don't worry, because that's how the product is supposed to look. When you work it through, then all of a sudden it's gone. It just dissolves right away, and you can work it through like so. But it's a thicker product, so because of all the great ingredients, it's gonna come out thicker. Next, don't just lightly spray it like that, okay? What you need to do is press down like that. See how I'm pressing firmly? And it's coming right out. So you have to press down because of the consistency to get it through the tubing of the sprayer nozzle, so it can then stream through, no problem. And also don't forget to clear off that area right there so it's not blocked. I get a lot of people saying that, and I'm like, well, you're not really applying it the proper way. So hopefully this helps. And we actually did make improvements to the sprayer, because last time it was like a laser stream, so this is actually much better. So now we have a section of hair that we are ready to work on to make this transformation. Next, we're going to need two things. One, a brush. This is the ceramic ionic brush. This is the larger one, so it's a 2.5-inch barrel. And you can use the 2-inch, which is the TikToker round brush. It all depends, but I like to use the larger size barrel on hair that's a little bit this length, because you're able to cover more ground and get more turn to it and bend the hair a bit more, whereas the smaller one actually may end up making the hair a bit wavier, and this is so much easier to pull with, okay? So now that the hair is damp, next we need our blow dryer. And this is the blow dryer that I do sell on my website, and I'm super excited that I made some major improvements to the packaging now, because you guys are all purchasing them, and I've been able to make these upgrades over time, like now with the magnetic attachments. So I've got the magnetic attachments, which is great. It comes with that, and also it comes with a diffuser if you're trying to make your hair a bit wavier or curly. So it comes with them, and it's a great deal. You can also fold it like this for travel sizes. And yeah, it's awesome. And thank you all for the support. Shop.thesalonguy.com. Use code YouTube20 for 20% off everything. All right, now what you want to do is you want to focus on an area. I always like to start right in the front. First things first is let's get that brush wrapping around the hair just to get out any sort of knots, any sort of tangles, and make sure you're able to get the feeling and you're comfortable with what it's like to turn your hand and roll the brush like this. See how I'm rolling the brush, all right? I'm not just pulling. Pulling straight down will not do much of anything. You have to bend that hair and work that hair. So you see, I'm turning like this, all right? I'm using my wrist to turn the brush. Next, people always say, oh, why do you have a nozzle for? What's this nozzle do? Well, if you use a nozzle, the air is focused right on that targeted area you're blow drying. If you don't have a nozzle like this, chances are you may end up possibly causing some damage to your hair from the heat, and it's also blowing the hair more like scarcely, so it's blowing it all over the place. All right, so instead, this is focusing on one targeted area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow dry this, and I apologize if it's too loud, but the technique is really, really important. When you lock the hair in, what I like to do is I'll turn this on in a minute as I go down maybe once, go back, and what I do is I keep going down, maybe 2 pulls, roll up, 1 pull, roll up, 1 pull, and what I'm doing is I'm working in sync. I'll go back, and this right here, this little thing, what is this? You see that? That's a pinky. Your pinky is sometimes your best tool for sectioning. So if you want to try and practice, just try something where you're taking your pinky like this and just feel what it's like to hold hair by using your pinky like this. So all you have to do is go in, take a section, and once you get used to this, even at me as a professional, this has been my best tool with working with hair is the pinky, right? It doesn't matter if you're righty or lefty, but use the pinky, all right? It's a great tool. And then what I do is I keep going down, go back in, keep going down, go back in, and you'll watch and as I demonstrate this. So here we go. Now I do have this on a lower speed, so it's not as loud because I don't want it to be too loud for you, but what you can see is I'm getting both sides. I'm getting the underneath and I'm also getting the surface layer. So I'm getting the underneath layer and the surface layer, but I'm going back in and doing it over and over. So I'm actually straightening it in a variety of different ways, because when you start to go the opposite way, that's when you're going to start to get actual waves and things in your hair that you may not want. So I'm blow drying all of this straight down and straight forward, because that's going to give me the most, as far as like getting the hair to smooth out, not only to smooth out, but also to make it a little bit straighter. And I'm not doing any damage to the hair because I'm not singeing the hair. I'm not holding a blow dryer on the hair for like 5 or 6 or like a minute and a half. I'm literally just taking this, I'm brushing this down like so, getting the knots out, and then I'm blow drying, all right? So you can see I'm keeping and protecting the integrity of the hair simply by just working in sync with the blow dryer and the brush. And I'm going all the way down, and then here is where I'm starting to roll the hair and roll the wrist to really smooth that hair out, as you can see. And I'm going to continue to do this. And this is something that doesn't happen in 2 or 3 seconds. You have to make sure that you're really taking your time and you're doing this thoroughly and go over it and over it and over it and over it like that to make sure that the hair is being smoothed out. All right, you want to make sure that the hair is being smoothed out, because that's the whole point of doing all this, right? You want your hair to look smooth, not frizzy. You want it to be straight. You want to get rid of all traces of those curls that you're seeing in your hair. And if you want, you can even go in with the cool air, which is one button on here. Just push it down, and the cool air will help to kind of seal the cuticle. And there we go. All right. So let's take a look at what we've done. Let's go a little closer here. So here is the mannequin, and as you can see, this is just with 25 spray, but it's pretty sleek, it's pretty silky. There's no frizz whatsoever. All right, no frizz whatsoever. It's basically, you know, there's no wave, nothing. So then you can style as you want. You can brush this all back, right? You can, you know, you want to slick back, whatever you want. But now you can see we've got a completely different type of hairstyle. Very, very straight, all right, as compared to all this where it's curly and somewhat frizzy, all right? So here it is. Again, it really comes down to technique. Now, is this gonna happen in 5 minutes? No, this may take some time. And this is a question, people ask me these questions sometimes and I'm like, They say, is this permanent? No, this is not permanent. This is very, very temporary, which means anytime you're gonna get water on that section or on your head, or you go outside and it's raining, or you wash your hair, it's gonna revert right back to this because we're not chemically changing the structure of your hair. So what's happening is we're temporarily straightening it and smoothing it, but the minute water activates it or hits it or whatever happens, you get it wet, it's gonna go right back to Mother Nature and it's gonna spring right back up. So my advice is don't wash your hair for like 3 days, 4 days, maybe use some dry shampoo, use a smoothing serum. Just try to stretch out the hair and the style as long as you can because you know how much work it took to go into this. If you've got really, really, really short hair, something like, even like the TikToker style, that's where this hairbrush, which is a smaller barrel, that's where you're able to get a bit more of the barrel wrapping around the hair because it's shorter, and you need that extra ability to pull the hair a bit more because it's that much shorter. It's the same thing, except if you want to flip it up, you flip it the opposite way, but you can still straighten hair if it's curly with the same technique and the same methods. Again, if you are interested in purchasing any of these products, use code YouTube20, that's YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com, so 20% off. And it's free shipping on orders over $65 in the United States, okay? So lots of cool deals going on. But let me know if you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.